so good. Of your peeing experiment.
Oh God.
The fan art.
It's so good.
Yeah, we're back. I'll show. Well, welcome back, by the way. I'll get the art on stream.
Ollie's on a roll tonight.
Oh
We gave him some material.
Ollie's on a rant. Oh.
Nice. The handle. I got
There you go, guys. There you go. Good
That's
old
great.
Ollie in
Thank
chat.
you.
Thank you for
Love
that. It's fantastic. Shall we continue, gentlemen and ladies?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Are you guys talking to each other?
Yes.
Am I muted?
I didn't mute you.
You're
No,
not
they
muted
were
now.
having
Hi.
like a fucking butt pep talk.
I
about
can't
it.
hear anything.
Oh.
Yeah, you're all
So,
laughing.
does this mean we get all the loots?
Yeah, I think if the DM is silenced, we just get free reign, right?
I think we actually,
Yeah.
for every minute
Yeah.
that he's every second that he's silenced, we
Okay.
get a free level.
Weird.
Wait, I have a great idea because he can't hear us.
Right.
Apparently we're live. And Sam's got there he is. He's
Now
back.
I'm the DM.
Okay. No idea
It
what's
didn't
going
work
on.
that time.
No,
It didn't
I-
work
It
that
It
time.
didn't work.
No,
Scott.
it didn't work that time for some reason.
It's because Sam's not in Scott's spot right now. Like,
Yeah.
because you're on the end. So if you leave, you'll always be on the end now.
Oh fuck!
It goes in the order that you. Yeah. it's
Gotcha.
weird.
I tried.
You did try. You good, Scott?
Trying to become the DM.
No, he's
Come
still
on.
dead. No, he's still dead out. Dead in the water. Alright, Maya, relax. Alright, let's see. What loot do we want? Is the question right
From the adventure.
now. Just like anything.
From town.
Who wants like the Hand of Vecna? The god of mysteries.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Alright, there you
Where is
go. Hand of
Where is
Vecna.
that?
Okay.
The Hand
cool.
of Vecna?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucked
No,
up.
no. You want to know what Bear
Hang
needs?
on. Hand of Vecna.
Bear
that?
needs the deck.
What is the deck?
I'm assuming it's like a deck of cards, right?
Yeah, the deck of cards.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
think
fun.
it's perfect. It would be perfect for your character.
Mm-hmm.
You could use it in so many situations.
I think I have a deck of cards. I just bring
No,
one
no, no,
around.
it's not like that. It's a very specific.
Alright.
Oh,
So if
okay.
you have the Hand of Vecna, here's what you get. Your strength, you automatically become neutral evil. You just can't stop it. Oh, all right.
Okay.
Everything's all fucked up. There we go. Now you're the DM again, Sam. So there you go.
Congrats.
So you automatically become neutral evil. Your strength score immediately goes to 20. Any melee spell attack you make with the hand and any melee weapon attack made with the weapon held by the hand deals an extra 2d8 cold damage on hit.
Dude.
Yeah. This is an artifact, by the way. This is like the only one of them exists in the world. Like, good luck finding it. The hand has 8 charges, apparently. You can use an action and expend 1 or more charges to cast the following spells, DC 18. Finger
I
of...
fixed it. Oh,
You
that's
did.
cool.
You did fix it. You fixed it.
Yeah.
You can cast Finger of Death, Sleep, Slow, Teleport. And the hand regains his 1d4 plus 4 expended charges daily
What are
at
we
dawn.
talking about?
Nothing.
Well,
This
we
is-
just grabbed something while you were gone.
Yeah, we just stole something
No.
from someone.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. We got some loot. We got some
found
free
a
loot.
hand of- we found this hand of Vecna on the floor.
Yeah.
Gold has been expended, but you don't get the item.
No. It was found. We found it on the ground.
Nope.
Yeah, outside the tavern.
I just it was on a dirt road. I kicked it with my foot, and I was like, "Oh, hey, it's the hand of Vecna."
Yeah.
I
What?
was yeah, we found the hand of Vecna on the ground.
So whoever has it is now neutral evil.
Well, I mean, personally, I love Vecna. My favorite character ever is a worshiper of Vecna, lawful evil necromancer. I love Vecna. So
you also have
know what,
to-
Otto, if you want the hand of Vecna, Otto,
Yeah.
you can have it. However,
good. Apparently, you have to
However-
cut your left
however-
hand off.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
Your arm.
however, we have to have Grommen cut your hand off for you.
Okay.
Sober.
Okay. Yeah.
Dude, and then,
Sober.
Both of you. Sober. Yep.
And if you want
That's
the
a
eye
good
of Vecna, you got to
idea.
rip your own eye out and replace it
Sober.
with his eye.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sober.
At least if you got the hand of Vecna, you could like stranger yourself all the time.
That's true. That's very true.
Is that like is it
I
one of the
was saying you should just get a deck instead.
The deck of many things.
Yeah, the deck of many things instead.
That'll be fun for Otto to have.
Yeah, that would actually be fun for you to have, and you don't have to cut your arm off. I mean, unless you.
Isn't
It's a
there
much-
isn't there a card in the deck of many things though that like completely screws you in some way?
There are many.
Yeah, Scott.
You
are
There
can
are many
like
things in the
level.
deck.
You can like remove stats. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it can be dangerous. It just depends on what you draw.
Or you can get amazing and
Yeah, it's true. You can
Luxurious
also get
stuff.
amazing. The deck of
I
many
feel
things
like-
is horrifying and also incredible.
if you end up worshipping tomorrow even more, I feel like that would totally be up your alley.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna look into this right now.
I think that's also an artifact. I'm pretty sure.
I think so. And you oh my gosh, there's so many situations where you could use it.
Okay.
Welcome back.
I am back to normal. Woo! Yeah.
Yay!
Awesome. All right. So Otto's evil. He has an undead, creepy hands thing, and in the middle of the night, choked out and killed Rye.
Yay!
Yes. Yes. Awesome. Was that movie Idle Hands or whatever, where like the criminal's hand was put on somebody's wrist or something? I don't know. Bad 90s movie or something. All right. I am back.
All right, let's keep going. Let's play.
Yeah. Back to this. We're gonna. Are we following the yellow brick road down this? No. Am I trying too hard there? All right. Where were we? That's right. So you guys wanted to go and explore deeper down into the hallways, caves, halls, whatever of Mirbar. So please go. How are we doing this? What is the plan here?
We're holding hands and skipping.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%.
Awesome.
A lot of
Now
us.
we're gonna make sure Otto's in the middle because he needs the most love.
I'm being swung between the
I
two
know.
orcs in the middle. Yeah, okay, you got it.
Yeah, of course. That's actually the really big question. You said between the two orcs, but I just assumed that Thonk is going to stay at home and
I mean, he has no reason to go, and he also warned that like the deeper you go, the guard did not so subtly say it becomes extra racist.
Well, we're sitting at the table and we're eating,
Mm-hmm.
and Grauman is going to put his fork in Otto's sausage and be like, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. He's gonna be like, Otto, now you better. Right, we should go down there.
I just nods.
What? Where? Asking Grauman.
Oh, okay.
yeah, Otto has no clue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking Rye would explain, but this will be great. Grauman can try to explain.
Oh god.
We see big cave opening. They have things down there, but they're really weird. They seem like they don't want us to go there.
Those are usually the kind of places we like to be, aren't they?
Well, it make me wonder why they don't want us there.
I look over to Rye. Sort of adventures are we looking at?
Usual.
Stand,
People that
standard.
don't want us around. Maybe we can get some good bargains down there.
Oh, Otto, you want to see what Rye get me?
Yeah.
He like opens up his hand and shows you this ring that he has. It's like
Ooh.
it's worth a lot of money. It's like a 3 to 5K gold ring.
Yeah, Otto's pupils dilate as he casts his eyes upon this little gem. Where'd you get that?
Yeah, where'd you get it, Rye? They're both looking at you.
Yeah, both staring at you intently now.
Rye. So Rye kind of like looks at Addo, and she's like, "I got it from that place where we get stuff."
Oh,
You
right.
and me.
Yeah, I remember that place. It was that was a good find.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Wow. I'm just staring at it. Can I wear it?
Yeah. He hands it over and he lets you put it on.
And
He doesn't get to use the magic of it because it's not attuned, but obviously he can put it on.
I'm gonna put it on my pinky. Oh yeah. Ooh. You know,
I
I
think-
could.
Does it automatically change to his size, or would it be huge on him because it fits on Grauman?
It would be absolutely huge. It would be huge on his thumb. When you attune to it, it would change size for you. But it's not like the One Ring where as soon as you put it on, it's like, oh, precious.
Okay. So I'm
You put it on your pinky and it's like dangling.
rocking this fucking loop earring around my pinky here. Probably not the best look for me, is it?
You should make sure you hand it to Rye. I want to hear what Rye is like when she uses that ring.
Sure. Yeah. I'll motion to hand it over to Rye once I take it off.
Rye's like, I didn't need it. Just motions to Grumman to get it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just hand it over to Grumman then.
Rye's like, those be hot goods. I don't want to touch that shit. Awesome. So eventually you guys decide, move away from breakfast and whatnot, and you want to go and enjoy these wonderful adventures downstairs, hoping that through the wonders of racism, you might be able to find a great deal. Okay.
That's quite the expression.
That's what more or less Sam just alluded to. And I was like, okay, let's go give it a try.
Yeah.
They're racist. They'll give us bargains.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Like a free guard escort out of their shop.
Hey.
Well, you know what? That is...
Right?
How often do you get a free escort?
That's true.
Free escort. Just think what you could do with that in LA.
Whoa. There are many ways to fix this situation, notably with charm and other abilities.
All right, well, let's go
Or
and see how this plays
disguise
out.
ramen as a cute grill.
Cute horse
So
grill.
what?
Hot grill.
A giant, basically She-Hulk. That's the only thing you could cosplay as. Is She-Hulk.
Yeah, pretty much it. Yeah. No. All right, so She-Hulk actually had some really nice calves. So how are Grauman's calves? Does Grauman have nice legs?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. He's got some
Yeah.
some beefy legs.
Nice. All right. So you guys are making your way on this wonderful endeavor of yours to Otto or Bear. The city is shaped like a bowl, as Sam had already told you earlier. But in various areas throughout the bowl, you'll see like hallways. It's kind of like, oh, look at this. There's like shops like built into. Oh, okay, over here's another shop, or like 3 shops, or like a large room built into the side of the city bowl thing, built into the stone. And many of the buildings here are also built into the stone, wood coming out of stone. But one of the hallways are kind of like, oh, let's go check out inside here. And as I turn the corner, they're like, this isn't just a hallway. This is clearly going down pretty far, pretty deep, and pretty wide. This is just in addition to the city itself. They were quickly able to kind of like figure that out. So that's where you guys are going, is down one of those hallways to try to find out where it is that you are going. Now, because you are going underground, because you are going to a big cavern-like area, I understand that 2 of you have the Wanderer ability, and that's great when you're outside nature areas. However, that doesn't help you when you're going through the winding cities of let's say the winding tunnels inside of a city that was specifically designed to be this way. That's where a rogue's ability to an urchin's ability or whatever it is to kind of like sneak through all the areas. You know how Rye always has the ability, every city that she walks into, she's like, I know the back roads here or the quick way there. But as soon as she walked into the city, she pretty much realized, shit, I don't know shit. Like, I don't know how to get here. Every time I think I'm taking a shortcut, I come up to a dead end and people are looking at me funny. So that being said, you guys are going to go into the tunnels and you realize, okay, well, we better keep a really close eye on these signs as we're going down. Otherwise, we might not find our way back so easily.
Mm-hmm.
Not even with survivalist stuff?
Oh, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's not going to be...
About to get lost, boys.
Yeah. It also depends, too. Like, if you guys are coming back sober, it should be relatively easy for you to do.
If we're coming back sober.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are clearly just going down there to do some like shopping and get your herded, and then you're coming back up, right?
Hmm. No.
Yeah, just like a mimosa, martini, or 2, nothing crazy. Yeah,
We
let's
don't get
go.
distracted ever.
Yeah, never. So
We are on track.
on track, and we're going to do that right now. So you guys are heading your way through the tunnel, making your way down there. One of the first things that you notice as you're going down this in particular tunnel is all the initial like little hovels off to the side of all the doors seem to be residents. Whether if you discover this because you kind of like it's like inferred and you pick it up quickly. I mean, Gromit does actually read Dwarven, which is useful, but not everything's written in Dwarven. It's also written in Shandathan, which actually Rye is able to read. So once again, you can pick it up pretty easily. However, you could also just have the other way of figuring it out, which is like Otto opens up the door and pokes his head, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, miss," and like slams the door shut and realizes it's a home. And you guys keep making your way for a while. Home here, home there, home here, home there, until finally you get past all of that, and you get to like a working area. And you notice that this is like a production area where the tunnels end up going like far off to the side, open up into big areas where people are literally like doing whether it be steel work or weaving, or whatever the case may be. And as you're kind of like entering this area, they're like, whoa, you're not allowed over here. Whoa. It's like, why not? It's because I'm an orc? No, silly. It's because this is a working area and it's not safe. You don't have the correct safety equipment. You don't belong here. Get out of here. Like, oh, okay.
But I'm wearing armor.
You don't have the correct safety equipment. You don't have the yellow hat. No, so
I want yellow hat.
So you guys making your way back. You guys are making your way back towards like kind of weaving your way through, and you come across another area that does seem to be productive as well. It's like, oh, this is an area where they do lots of production of like say foodstuffs, and where it is they actually keep a lot of they're called like Otto Rock or something like that. They're more cavern style cattle, so like I think cows that live underground as opposed to walking around overhead. I think it's Otto Rock, or it's pronounced weird. So there's those things, and you guys are walking through the caves. You see that, whoa, you guys aren't allowed over here. Is it because I'm an orc? No. It's just because this is a farm. We don't want you messing with the farm. Please go back. And that continues for a while. And so finally, after like a couple of hours of being like bored and entertaining yourselves with maybe a flask that Otto happens to have with him, you finally are able to make your way to an area where it seems like you actually belong here. Maybe you just went through the wrong original tunnel, whatever the case may be. But there's shops here. There's actually a tavern here. There's a whole bunch of people here walking around having fun. Interesting thing about this, as you come into the area, as you went deeper and deeper and deeper, one of the things that you noticed is the population shifted from predominantly human, immediately second dwarf, and then other races to predominantly dwarf. There's some humans and like another race to now it's pretty much only dwarves. There's humans here and there, and Otto and Zrai are the only other races. Oh, and the orc. So as you guys are making your way through there, one of the things that you notice that the whole time was actually pretty easy for you to travel, pretty easy for you to walk. It was comfortable. You can go like, Sex and the City style, like going 3 wide or 4 wide if Thunk was with you. And, kind of like marching through the place, and nobody seems to really care too much. But as you're getting down here, the tunnels are actually getting a bit narrower, and the ceiling is definitely getting lower to the point where like Gromit at one point in time would be giving like a hearty laughter and like bonk his head and be like, oh, oof. And then we're kind of start having to crouch down a little bit as he's walking. But you're finally in the area where there are in fact shops. There are in fact taverns, maybe even inns. There's a few homes here and there. It seems like a city within the city itself, or at least a city center within the city itself. But the ceilings actually cap out about like 6 feet tall, and Gromit is 7 foot plus boots. So he's like,
oh my gosh, Gromit, when we start getting in there and he's walking in, he's like, am I get taller, or is this place get smaller?
Oh no, Gromit, did you have one of those potions again by mistake?
Oh no, Gromit looks down at his leg. He's like, no, my leg's same size.
Oh, thank goodness.
So you guys are making your way through there. Now, where is it that you wanted to, like, was it specifically a tavern to have some drinks and see how things go? Or was it specifically a shop to find out what kind of wares they sold down in this region? Now, before you answer that question, please feel free to roll for me an insight check.
Well done.
Without disadvantage.
And natty one.
Thank you. Oh, jeez. Okay.
I've never seen a 0, man. An actual 0.
She's rolled
Well,
two.
put it this way, I have a -1. Oh, I thought this was my -2. No, it's a -1.
Yeah. Otherwise, you would have had a -1 of that roll. That would have been pretty funny. Okay, so it's a Jacob 0.
Scott, I don't know if it's you or me, but one of us is making the other one yawn, and it just keeps going like back and forth.
Oh,
needs to
sorry.
stop.
Non-stop.
Sorry,
needs to
I'm so
stop.
sorry.
I don't know if it's you, or maybe it's me, and I'm getting you, and then you get me. I don't know. It's a chicken and egg situation. But one of us started this, and now it just can't.
I will lock my jaw next time it happens. Okay.
I will try. I will also
Yeah.
try. I think I'm next in line.
Yes. All right, here we go. Now that you made me think about it, it's like those yawning commercials. We're like, TV, don't make me yawn. All right, so you guys are walking through the area, and as you're walking through, all of you notice, though, some more so than others, or quicker than others, that the peoples there are looking at you kind of funny, and some of them looking at you kind of funny. You know what I mean? As you're walking through there, the person, of course, gaining the most looks at them is Rye, because nobody likes orcs, but at least it makes sense that there's an orc here. Why is there a demon down in these pits? That's kind of like the vibe you're getting. Otto is getting weird glances as well, but nobody's really like lingering or looking at him with too much disdain, or otherwise the disdain that he is getting seems to be like, why are you with them? Like, choose your friends better. But that is the kind of like the feeling that you're getting.
I'm okay with that. I'm gonna go try to make some friends.
Yeah, nothing's different.
Yeah, we're used to being discriminated against at this point. It's no out of the norm situation here for us.
Yeah. I had somebody tweet at me that I'm growing more and more racist against orcs. I'm like, I'm going to have to play an Eberron campaign just to like cleanse myself of all this orc hatred, because they are very, very different. That way I can at least start hating on elves, because in Eberron, elves are the douchebags. So anyways, you guys are kind of like making way. You said you were doing what exactly, Bear?
I was gonna go make some friends. Gonna go try to gather some info about this place.
So she'll just kind of like walk up to a random person and chat to them. Please go right ahead.
Definitely.
Rye's
Just
a
whoever.
little bit self-conscious. She's like got a hood up a little bit.
Give me the nearest dwarf.
Okay, so you go walking up to the nearest dwarf, and as you go walking up to him, he's kind of like looking at your friends over your shoulder, and you kind of go up to him and say your greeting, whatever it is you're about to say. After you say your greeting, his eyes will fall off your friends and look down at you.
Mm-hmm. Greetings, friend. Does he speak my language?
He most likely speaks Trondathan and Dwarven. You know about half of Trondathan at this point. Like you can smatter through it in like somebody that's been really studying the Paris guidebook before they went to go visit the city.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to stick to pretty basic phrases here for the most part, then, yeah.
Yes.
So I'm gonna ask him.
Me chomp chomp. Hungry.
Where's the bathroom?
Oh, that's Grommen. That's
Yeah. So I ask him how he is.
been better.
You seem a little unsettled. Is there anything I can do to help you with that?
Leave.
Leave? Don't like my friends.
Your friends are fine if they're spending gold.
Yeah, we tend to do that. Are there any places around here you'd recommend?
Yeah. This tunnel here, go straight that way, 3-4 minutes. Hook a right, go straight that way about 15 minutes. Hook a left. There's a cart. You pay a couple silver. They'll bring you straight back to the surface. Take good care of you.
Great. Thanks for the recommendation. And I leave. Cool. Well, that was a waste of time.
But
Well,
if you want to talk to somebody you think is going to be a little bit more welcoming, you're welcome to make a an insight check to try to like read somebody.
sure.
However, I'm going to make you roll this with disadvantage because they all look a little douchey.
Okay. Tell you what, I'm gonna go back to him.
You look around and you're like, they all look horrible.
I turn around because halfway through his sentence, in my mind, I was going, I need to talk to somebody else. And I turned around after he was done with his spiel, looked around and saw, oh, no, this isn't going to get much better for me, is it? Okay, we'll stick with him. I go back to this guy, immediately cast friends on him, and the conversation takes a turn, doesn't it?
Oh, it most certainly will take a turn for a minute.
Mathis
is great.
hid in his shirt. Mathis is like, I don't want to be here.
I'm not there.
God.
Donk is free. He's fine.
This
Why
is
aren't you
great.
here? Stop fucking bitching out all the time, Thonk.
So he just likes being a fly on the wall.
Sometimes you have to let your friends make their own mistakes.
Yeah.
I
So
remember that.
you go walking up to this, to the surly dwarf who's still standing like a full almost head and shoulders over you, and you cast a spell on him, and so as you kind of walking up to him, he's looking at you like, So go ahead.
I thought I recognized you, pal. Now, did you want to try answering that last question again? I wanted to get some good info on where to get the best goods down here.
The best goods.
best.
The best goods. Well, some people like to say that the metals from Mithril Hall are the best because it's fancy metal. But the dwarves over there, they don't know the first thing about how it is that you really work the materials that you have. It's not always the materials that you start with, it's the product that you make. So for the best things, you want to go to, it's right over this way. It's Bagelthorn's. That's his name, Bagelthorn. It's Bagelthorn's Metalworks. You go
Great.
over there. He has access to the best steel that Mirbar has to offer, and he hires only the greatest smiths that Mirbar has the reaches to grab. And over there, you will find some great
Otto all of a
things.
sudden sounds really rushed. Oh, that's great. Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Bye. Leaves. Goes back to Gromman and Rye. Hey, I know where we should go. Let's go. He tries to hurry the pace a little bit and quickly leaves the area.
Well, Rye gets it.
Fast. I don't walk that fast.
Go,
He's
come on, Gromman, let's go.
trying to
Let's go,
walk.
Gromman.
So you guys are moving as quickly as you can, and as you guys are going, everybody make me a perception check really quickly.
Bagelthorns.
Yep. Otto, you and only you are able to hear cussing in Dwarven from behind you, echoing down the cave.
He can't see me, can he?
No, but you went as quickly as you can to Bagelthorns, and you're heading there now. So looking around, you don't know how to read these signs, but Rye does. And so Rye is able to find out which one is Bagelthorns, and you guys can go walking into the shop.
Great.
So when you go walking into the shop, it's kind of similar to that first area where you went to, where you're more or less just very quickly kicked out. I'm kind of, why does Maggie keep rolling all these D20s? I'm like, what's happening?
For my bird.
Oh, okay. So
what his roles would be.
So you guys are making your way to the area. As you go walking in, immediately when you open up this door, which is a large metal door, as soon as you open it, like as soon as you touch the door, you can feel vibrations on it. Who is it that would open the door? Would it be Otto?
Yeah, probably.
You're leading
Okay,
the
so
way, I would
As Otto reaches to grab the door, and he goes to push it open, but he actually stops for a moment because he has to appreciate what it is that he's feeling right now. The rhythm that he feels, the vibrations, the rhythm that's coming through this door right now, it's just so beautiful. It's like a song, like a complex symphony is happening on his fingertips right now. I mean, he's feeling this on his fingertips, and he's like loses his mind for a moment as he's like thinking of all these wonderful like string sounds and whatnot that can match this. So you feel free to take over if you'd like, but he reaches and he touches and he feels this.
And I've got a very musical mind already, and to hear such a wonderful cacophony of sound is quite overtaking for Otto. He's going to be, again, a little bit of the same face he made when Ramen saw him with his junk hanging out. He's a little bit deer in the headlights here as he's got his hand on the doorknob. Just staring with that 1,000-yard stare of, what is this magic?
Rye just pokes Addo in the kidney. Hey, you going in? What? What are you doing?
I get shaken a little bit. You didn't hear that?
No.
It was beautiful.
Do we hear anything?
If you listen really, really closely, you kind of hear like tinging on the other side of the door. But I mean, it just sounds like ting of metal on metal.
It sounds like metal.
No, not that. The music. The chorus. It's amazing.
There's no
Are
music.
you okay? Are you sure you okay? Maybe we make you go lay down again.
I'm fine. Let's go in.
Okay.
I try to push the door open more.
You do. You push the door open. Now, as he pushes the door open, you guys are able to hear that tinging sound a lot louder. So, before we get to sounds, the tinging sound of the dwarves working is so beautifully rhythmic. Otto is like outside of himself right now with how wonderful it sounds, how in unison everybody seems to be working. And then to top it off, not only is there the unison like tinging of metal and banging of stone and whatnot that's happening here, but the dwarves are all actually like singing like a song to themselves as they're working. Like everybody is in unison singing a song. Now, I don't mean like literally everyone, but a serious number of them are. And it's just like very low, like booming sounds, very deep baritone voices that are echoing through the caves and kind of like not over, but under the sound of the work that they're doing. And it's really kind of capturing you guys as you do this. As you walk into the place, you can almost, I mean, Otto is completely wiped away, but the other two of you, you're like taken aback by the beauty that this is offering. And then as the door opens, you're able to see inside. You can see there's a row far to the left and a row far to the right of dwarves working in tandem. One, like whether it be holding something for the other one or passing stuff over there or stoking fires over there. The other one actually hammering away, and everybody is like just doing this work. And it's just like, it's almost like it's choreographed, seeing the way that they're all moving and going well, doing very, very, it's not like everybody's in unison hammering the same exact sword over and over again, right? It's all very different work, but it seems beautifully choreographed, like a wonderful ballet that you're witnessing here. The work, I mean, the walls out there, of course, they're ornate, they're beautiful, they're smaller. You step in here and it's almost like watching, I don't know, like Alice in Wonderland, where, she kind of comes out through one of the small doors and it's just much bigger overhead finally. Grommen can stand up fully and can't even see the ceiling, let alone touch it. The area in here is so much larger, and it's great because all the smoke that's going up those chimneys that they have there, anything that escapes the chimney is going to be sitting high overhead out of sight and not like you coughing against and hacking against it. The walls in here are so incredibly ornate, whether they just be stone that's crafted perfectly or little ornaments that are made out of steel put on top of them. All around the place, you just see people working and working and working. You do not see a single ware, like a shelf or a thing hanging up for you to purchase anywhere inside this area. You just walk in and just see work all the way to the left and all the way to the right.
Otto is completely dumbfounded, staring at the work.
Grommen's like, I hear it now.
Mm-hmm. Otto looks up at him with wide eyes like, uh-huh.
I lowers her hood. She feels safer here.
I eventually snap out of my hypnotic trance of the place. I'm looking for Bagelthorn.
Okay. So do you guys choose to speak to one of the dwarves that are there working and or singing? or do you choose to just kind of like start walking down the line?
Does there look like there's anyone that isn't completely absorbed in a task? Is there perhaps someone? No, everyone's busy. Okay. Ooh.
Bryce starts walking down the line.
Okay. The walk is kind of a long one. I mean, it's not like you were counting the whole way, but if you had to guess, there was easily 100 dwarves that were working as you went. And again, it's groups of 2. So 2 in a same exact size area, 2 same exact like cells area or cubicles or whatever, and opposite sides. So you're always standing next to 4 as you're kind of going through. And it's one on either side. And as you finally make your way all the way through to the far ends, there is another archway. There's no door there. There's another archway that you guys are able to walk through. This thing is incredible. It's beautiful. It's ornate. While the wall itself, of course, made out of stone, the archway is made out of very beautifully crafted steel. When you go walking through that and into the other side of it, you do, in fact, finally see there are 2 dwarves standing there and having a conversation amongst themselves. But as they notice you walking into earshot, they immediately button off the conversation. And one of them turns around and gestures to you with open arms.
Mm-hmm. I can certainly be amicable to that. I walk right up to him. Hello.
He's like, hail there, friends, and well met. By looking at you and the fact that you found this place, I'm assuming that you are adventurers.
That is a correct assumption.
He says this to you, of course, in common, and he says it to you in a very, very practiced common, like so every region has their own type of common. Common is a smattering, blah, blah, blah. But he says it to you in a very practiced common, like as he's kind of like working through it and he sees like, it's almost like he's reading the way that you're listening to him. And he kind of like very quickly catches on in that introduction, how it is that seems comfortable for you. And then he just falls into place and he's speaking in a type of common that you seem familiar with.
Mm-hmm. Do I notice this?
This is something that Otto picks up instantly because Otto is just like very, very well practiced in doing this sort of thing with other people. Rye and Gromit can roll an insight. I said Otto, I meant Rye and Gromit. Yeah, I said it right.
Yeah.
Appropriately, Gromit rolled
Why
it.
would I roll insight?
What was that?
Why would I?
To pick up exactly what I just described.
Okay.
So Rye isn't able to pick it up, sadly, how well practiced this is, because Rye's not very well traveled beyond what we've seen in this this series so far, right? Mm. So Otto does pick up this. This man seems to be a bit of a silver tongue. But go ahead.
And I'm gonna confront it head on too as well. I'll say to him, "That's a well-versed tongue you have there, friend."
I've traveled many lands and spoken to many peoples in all of the years that I've lived.
A friend of the spoken word. I can admire that. We were told to come here for provisions. Have we come to the right place?
If you were looking to find rope, or perhaps mead, or perhaps some rations, then you are sorely mistaken. This is not at all where you should be. However, if you're looking to have something commissioned, if you're looking to have something made for you, or something adjusted to fit you, then we can do that for you, yes.
Mm-hmm. I get a gleam in my eye at that last one.
We do have stock items as well, things that I have my apprentices work on just to give them practice and keep something on hand for those that don't have time to waste and wait. And he says waste, almost like it's laughable that it would be a waste.
Mm. I give him a little smile at that as well. And so metagame here real quick. Do we need much in particular from this guy? I just sort of assumed we would be curious to see what they had available.
This guy's like, do you want a custom weapon? Do you want to commission a custom weapon from him? Or maybe Gromit might want to do something about his fucking 7 battle axes he has and like consolidate them or something.
Meld them into one giant axe.
What's the name of that sword that what's his name gets in Cloud gets, where he puts all the different swords inside of it.
Buster sword, yeah.
Buster
Yeah.
sword, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, there was a
I
different
have
one that he
that.
put the Buster sword inside. No.
He's like, no.
No.
Well, we could do something like that for sure. I think.
Is the ring already taken care of, or does it need resizing or something like that?
Two things. One, the ring has already been resized by a tuning, by her tuning.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay.
And two, it's a stolen good
Okay.
from the city
So we don't want to
from
show it to
yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good call.
I do have that one battle axe that the guy had on him, but I know it has some kind of magical property. Just haven't, or no, the battle axe didn't, right?
No, it just had like a unique weight to it.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
had
it's
a
just
weird,
+1 damage.
yeah, which is it's not that great compared to my girl's axe, so we could totally sell that. It's because it's only 1d8, 1d10.
Yeah, 1d8 or 1d10 depending, and that's just if you wanted a one-handed weapon as opposed to your typical two-handed weapon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Maybe
we could
Grauman's
sell the
feeling
battle
shields.
axe. The one thing I think they could make Grauman is maybe a little armor for the bird or something like that. Might be kind of cool.
Okay.
But it has to be like, I don't know how they would do that because you can't weigh a bird down and stuff. So.
Right. Well, I may pass the buck here then, because I don't think there's actually anything that I can do with this guy. So I'm finding myself with my tail
You
between
don't
my
need a
legs. here.
weapon or anything?
Yeah, I mean, I could certainly put in an order for something good. I don't know. Do I have money?
Well, you had that 1,000 gold you got from forever ago, and I don't know how much of it you spent. I can't recall. And then, because I think you still have literally the sword you started with plus your dagger.
I do. Yeah, that's it. I've got my
Yeah, it's like, no,
1d8
you need a new weapon?
rapier and the dagger of venom. Yeah, that's exactly
Grauman hands you the battle axe.
it.
No, really.
I need it. Yeah, I do. Can I? Yeah. So I suppose.
Maybe you resize this for him, and he hands you the battle axe, and you like.
I suppose I wanna see what he's got available for me. So, I suppose I can just ask him that. So I'll after asking him about his silver tongue, I'll follow up and say, I do appear to be in need. What do you have that may fit a creature of my stature?
He kind of like sizes you up, looks you up and down, and he's like, I assume you're looking for weapons then.
Absolutely.
Well, are you looking to have something commissioned, or were you hoping for the apprentice's works?
Well, I certainly like a high-quality blade, and I pull out my rapier as I say this, but I'm not really working with the greatest at the moment. We have quite a bit of metal, actually, extra weapons that we could provide you with, perhaps in exchange for a commission.
Grauman starts taking off all the weapons.
As like the third one comes off and he's looking at them shaking his head, he's like, all of that is made out of crap steel. There's nothing I can do with that quality.
Understood. What are we looking at for a commission?
It depends on what it is that you're trying to get. If you're trying to get a better version of this, and he kind of like taps the rapier's blade, so it's like, well, he's like, we don't usually make things so delicate. If you're looking for a weapon that is also fitting of somebody who prefers finesse, well, then that certainly can be done. And he'll actually kind of like gesture over to over on a wall over there, an extremely fine looking and fancy short sword that's on the wall. But it's, I'm saying short sword, but like it is amazing. It is beautiful. Like there's the gems that are laden into it are incredible. The steel looks like perfectly even toned throughout it. This thing is like, you're looking at this thing going, holy shit, how is that a weapon and not just a decoration? Mind you, it's on a wall.
Sure. Yeah, and Otto looks at that with a sort of wry smile and looks back over at him. Perhaps something a little lighter on the purse.
Well, considering that was for a prince, and he is like, to the stock items then. I think that you don't intend to waste your time. And so he'll actually, to the other person that's in the area, he'll be like, excuse me, in Dwarven, and which Gromit understands. And he'll step out back for a moment. And then when he comes back out, he actually has 3 different short swords with him. And he places them all up there, so you can kind of like see what style or whatever you like. Now again, short sword is just the 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons way of saying it's a 1d6 weapon that you can handle in one hand, and you can use with another one, and you can use it with dexterity if you'd like. However, the style of these weapons can vary greatly, right? So he places before you 3 very, very, very different styles of weapons for you to kind of like pick up and feel or whatever, and to find the balance with. So kind of like picking up and seeing what it is that you have. Just do me a favor, just make me an attack roll.
Okay.
With your rapier is fine.
Sure.
Okay. And so you got to pick him up and you're swinging him around or whatever, trying to get a good feeling of it. And the way he's watching you swing them and trying to see the balance, he's just kind of like, you can see he's like gritting his teeth and trying not to be rude. And like, because you notice this, and he does notice you notice this, he eventually is like, comes over and he actually will stand and hold your arm a certain way and position your wrist a certain way. And he's like, kind of like move you and be like, now just thrust. Just give an easy, no, stop twisting your wrist when you do it.
We're on a date.
You think you're being fancy. You're not. You're just going to break your wrist. Just thrust with it and see if it throws you off balance or not. Just do that with the weapons. And he does that for you to do, and you kind of like play with them for a while until you finally find the one that you like the most.
Are the stats on these different?
They are. Well, they're all the same. They're all actually, so just out of game. They're all +1 short swords.
Okay. Yeah, I'll find one I'm happy with. I do actually like the idea of going short swords, so let's go ahead and say, yeah, you know what? I like this one. How much?
That there would be 1,000 gold, even. It covers all expenses, including the paperwork to carry it from the city.
I have no idea if I have the money necessary to buy
That's
this.
way too much money for a sword.
Way too much money. Okay.
+1 sword? What? Unless it has some magical.
+1 swords are like 200 normally. We're getting fucked.
Yeah, that's
We're getting
insane.
fucked.
Like
All right.
scamming you hard.
Yeah.
Unless it
So.
has some kind of magical property, which Gromit would not know. So.
All right.
Don't friend him.
I'm not gonna friend him. I'm gonna.
I like how the first thing that comes into Sam's mind: don't friends him.
I was gonna suggestion him maybe. I thought I could go down that road.
Can Rye interject here?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
please.
Rye kind of she's like sat to the side like patiently as Ado kind of experiences the sword and the guy's watching, and she kind of like raises her hand to get the dwarf's attention and like calls him over, and she's gonna communicate with him so anyone else can't hear. So she's gonna use message, and she basically says to him, she inquires if he's in need of adventurers for work because this is too expensive for them.
Mm-hmm.
So more or less trying not to ruin Otto's bluster or whatever it is. You're trying to speak to this man discreetly.
Like he can tell that she's using like tact here, and she doesn't want to embarrass the group. But she's blunt and she's like, "This is too much. Do you have any work that you might adventure us for, and maybe we could work something out?"
He shakes his head with that, kind of like he looks at Otto and it looks like he's thinking for a minute. Then he shakes his head with that and he's like, hold for a moment. Let me just show you something. And he goes out back for a moment again, and then he comes back out front, and he has with him 2 different short swords. Okay, and with one of the short swords, he holds it, puts out like the end of like one of the ledges in the room that he's in, and he asks the other dwarf who's just kind of like patiently watching everything, it's like hold it steady, and he does. He actually holds it as steady as he possibly can. Then he reaches behind his like his counter to where he has something else over there and grabs a hammer off of the wall. And very quickly, he just swings down and shatters the short sword into like tons of pieces all over the place. And he's like, may I? Like
Referring
gesturing
to
to
what?
Otto, to the sword Otto's holding.
Sure, yeah. I'm a little taken aback, but hand it to him.
He takes the sword and he hands it to the other dwarf to do the same thing. And he takes the same hammer and he levies it up and then just kind of stops for a second. And he grabs the hammer with both hands and he hoists it up. And then he kind of looks over his shoulder, walks over to Grommen and hands Grommen the hammer and says, as hard as you can.
Oh, Grommen is like, really?
As hard as you can. And then he actually
Grommen
spits on his hands
looks at them
and
he's
grabs
like,
the sword with the other guy. So like the guy's hands aren't broken by Grommen.
shit. What do I roll?
It's just going to be a strength check.
Just pure strength?
Pure strength.
Okay.
Break the sword! Come on! Ruin his point.
Okay, so that's a really good roll, Maggie. That's a really good roll. Oh God, there's a 25% chance of that happening. Oh God. Oh. All right. So as as Grommen swings as strong as Grommen possibly can, a pointed swing all the way down and hits the thing. As the thing goes off, immediately, Grommen like hits it and it's like, oh, and notices nothing. Everybody roll me perception checks. You all don't see anything happen. So, oh. Oh, and Rye. Oh, beautiful Rye. Okay, so Rye, however, notices, so everybody kind of like looking or whatever. Rye notices. I should have said investigation, but that's fine. Rye makes her way over, and as everybody's kind of looking, you guys see there's not a scratch on the sword. It seems to be completely unblemished from it. Rye actually notices a couple of cracks up the inside of the blade. The seam is just so fine. It's just so beautiful. And the steel itself is so like well made that when Rye notices it, she's almost taken aback by the fact that she notices it.
Yeah.
This is your in.
Rye waits for a brief moment to see if he says anything.
He just looks pompous. Like, you know, not over the top because he's a good businessman, but he a little pompous at the moment.
Grommen's kind of excited about holding this hammer. He's like, maybe axes weren't the way I should go.
Rye again whispers to the dwarf in his mind, and she says, "Looks cracked to me."
He actually lets out a hearty laugh, which to you guys seems like he's just laughing at the situation and how good he won. So he picks up the thing and starts looking at it. And he spends like some time looking at it, or whatever. And Rye, right now, you feel as though he doesn't seem convinced. Do you say anything else, or just kind of like let things play out?
I can point it out if you want.
When you say that, he's like, you guys can see he's kind of looking at this thing, and he kind of gets like a furrowed brow, and he's like searching for a while, and then finally he's like, slams it down on the counter and looking at it, like, and checking it as close as he can, and looking at it. He's like, one last test to make a point, and he hands the sword back to Otto. And then he grabs the other sword that he had pulled out from behind, from out back, and he has the guy hold it there steady. Sorry, not to Otto. He takes the sword back himself. He has the other guy hold it, and he swings it as heavy as he can, as hard as he can, down at the other sword that he's swinging at. And when he swings, he hits it as hard as he can. And while the other sword doesn't shatter like it did with the hammer, you can see cracks all up along it. You can see a chip came off of it and stuff like that. Clearly, his better sword has injured the other sword that he swung it at, which is great and all. However, just in case. Okay. I was going to see if I broke my own sword while doing it. So he does swing down as hard as he can, and he does crack the other sword, and it doesn't break. But after he does that, and you guys are able to see that and be like impressed by it or whatever, he does one of the things that Otto quickly notices. We're just gonna see Grommen doesn't, is that he just keeps every once in a while looking at his sword, like almost like disappointed in it as he's looking at it, despite the wonderful things you just saw. Otto's kind of picking that up. Ryan knows exactly why.
I definitely see this on his face, and I can well, I just say, I just look. I don't look sold either. I'm like I'm really trying to play a shrewd game here. I look over at Rye and go, I don't know about these. Maybe we should try
Grauman can
somewhere
see
else.
his struggle, and Grauman wants to test out the sword.
He's so Grauman kind of like gestures to test it. He does hand it to Grauman, and he as he does so, he kind of tosses a sideways, like knowing glance at Rye. Go ahead, Grauman.
Rye
Is it
says
a
nothing.
dex-based weapon or strength?
And it is Dex, but you can choose to use Strength if you'd like.
Oh my fucking god.
Jesus.
Well, his dex and strength are pretty even almost.
So were you just trying to feel the balance of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of like twirling the thing around and playing with it, whatever. It's actually, your roll is even better than that. You have 3 more than that, so you got 24. So because you get to add your proficiency bonus, and so you're kind of moving this thing around, and you can see that this sword seems like it should be perfectly balanced, like it should be, like everything about it seems beautiful, whatever. But something just seems off about it. Something just seems like it's not as good as you expected it to be with all the other performances that you just saw it give. So watching. Go ahead.
Can he gather what would be wrong with it, or does he just feel like something's wrong? So Grauman is like swinging it around and like.
I would say, Maggie, roll me in investigation with advantage.
Oh, advantage. Yeah, I have a -2 to this. Yeah. So Grauman's like swinging it around and like testing like different, I don't know, angles of it and seeing how it feels against when he does this. And he hands it back to Otto and he says, I see why you confused. Something not right.
Right. Something's not right, is it? Just a little off with these swords. Can't put my finger on it. You know, I was told this was the
Grauman,
All right.
Grauman looks at the dwarf and says that in Dwarven this time. Says, I see why my friend confused. Something no right.
These swords are nigh unbreakable, but they're made out of steel. The highest quality steel that all of Farron has to offer, yes, and with the greatest smiths that all of the North has in its grasp, yes. But it is just steel, and it does have limitations. However, you can see exactly what the extent of those limitations are. It took not just any swing of anything. It took the swing of a hammer. Of a very heavy hammer. That thing over there weighs about 17 pounds. Swung by the biggest fucking orc I've ever seen in my life. A direct blow held perfectly steady by the hands of 2 dwarves doing so. This is the most perfect situation that you could ever find yourself in should you be wanting to break a blade. And I compared that to the shit that Mithril Hall pops out when it's using its regular steel. And you can see the differences that are being offered from one dwarven clan to the next. And we all know that dwarves, of course, make the greatest weapons that all the lands have to offer. So that's all being said, I understand that things didn't go quite the way that I expected them to, because that is the biggest fucking orc I've ever seen in my life.
He is pretty big, isn't he?
Yes, he certainly is. And damn, he's massive. So that all being said, I will offer you a replica of this one. I do have another one out back, of course. These are the ones that my apprentices make, not just the ones that are commissioned for you by my greatest smiths. I can get you a replica of this. Same exact as the one, but not broken, in mint condition. And I will sell it to you for 650 gold, but only if you agree that this has never happened.
500 and we call it a deal.
200.
Grauman.
Throws that out there.
He when Grauman says that, he kind of looks at the like the orc like he just assumed it was meant to be a joke, and he laughs.
Grauman says, "No, 200," and he hands over the battle axe.
So, Otto, because you're the one obviously we're taking seriously. No offense, Maggie.
Yeah.
You roll for me a persuasion check.
Sure. How's that?
Holy shit! Jeez.
A 28. I mean,
Can I get some sympathy? Can I get
No.
some sympathy from
No, dude.
chat here?
No,
I mean,
you
come on. How do I deal with these?
you tried to charge us 1,000 gold.
Yeah, fuck that.
You're
It's
gonna be buying
worth
it.
it.
You're
It's
buying it for
not
500.
unbreakable.
Because he rolled a 28.
Okay, so he for the 500 gold, he slaps his hand on the thing with like how the force that Otto puts into it, the silvered way it is that Otto reapproaches the situation. Like, no, not quite the 200, and he already said he didn't want the X, but kind of like doing his Otto way of approaching. And he's finally like, fine. You, if this never leaves your lips, not even to whoever it is that you might know personally, those that you even travel with, this never leaves these walls.
I haven't
I'll
the
sell
faintest
to
idea
you.
what you're talking about.
500 gold, and you can have one of these two here, gesturing to the ones that are uninjured, or the one out back that is a perfect replica of the sword in question.
I just pick up one of the ones from the table. The undamaged one, of course. Yeah, this'll do.
Okay.
All right.
So you say this will do, and and he nods to that. He's like, could I just make one request? I'll reward you for it if you can do it. He says, looking squarely at Grommen like a challenge.
Go on.
Finish the job.
I look over
Finish
at
the job. And he picks up the sword that's already broken to a degree, and he kind of gestures to the other dwarf, and they go and they hold it down one more time.
All right. Okay.
Oh, you should give us some bardic inspiration or some shit, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Oh, I want to throw a bardic inspiration.
Oh, come on! I
Absolutely.
didn't think of
Give me
all
some
these.
info.
Absolutely. Get your normal inspiration too. We're not gonna have a better opportunity for that.
Oh
today.
yeah. Advantage plus that. Yeah, I'm in.
Definitely.
All right.
Gonna
This is
break
plus
the
1d6
shit out of this sword.
to my roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, you actually get to add a 1d8 now from bardic inspiration because level 5.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
But he's suggesting you roll with advantage using your inspiration to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
so.
No, I'm doing it. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
There
Plus
we go. Come on, plus D8. Yeah.
27.
God.
God.
27.
Oh, what was your total before when you rolled I think it was a total of a 20, right? Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh
it
God.
good thing I did the inspo or advantage inspo because
Mhm.
You shatter the thing. You shatter the thing everywhere. So when that's done, when that's shattered, when everything happens, he's just kind of watching like, goes out back, and he comes forward, and he actually hands Grommen a hammer, a great hammer like this one. It's not the one off the wall, obviously, because that's
Another weapon
but-
for Grommen.
But he hands Grommen a great hammer, a long hammer it is, and
oh my god.
or a maul, but it's better forms than that or whatever. Hands Grommen that thing and says, Find your way over to the shaved beard. They'll just find your way over to the shaved beard. Go straight up to the keep there, and just let them know that I sent you. And they'll take care of you. Not free, but you'll be taken care of.
Sweet. Grumman's like trying to figure out where to put the. He's like, what? Trying to figure out which weapon he gives up to.
How do I hold all these weapons?
Yeah, how do I hold all these weapons?
I feel like you should leave that new axe you got just here with them.
This is a gift.
Leave your original axe. The original.
They said it's shitty steel, right? So just I don't know.
Yeah, they insulted all our
I don't need
weapons.
it.
The battle axe.
The +1 you just got that you're never going to use. I don't know. How much would it sell for? Could we even sell it?
+1.
Yeah, the one from the bandits from last episode.
You mean the battle axe?
Yeah, that's what I said.
It wasn't +1.
It is +1.
Oh, you're right. It is +1. I know. I keep trying to leave it with him. He doesn't want it. All right. Yeah, I'll leave it.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be rude though?
I feel like we could sell it for a bit though.
That's what I was thinking. Is we'll
sell it to,
sell
like,
it.
You can sell it elsewhere to
Yeah,
less
some
pompous
cheap.
merchants.
Yeah, I figure we could just sell it somewhere. Let's
Yeah.
not. I don't want to leave it here and be rude. That seems rude. He clearly doesn't want it. He said twice he doesn't. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm just becoming an arsenal. That's all.
As you guys are leaving, he does call out after you. If you make your way over to Mithril Hall, buy the cheapest garbage that you can get your hands on, because that's pretty much the most expensive thing there. And test my blade against it.
Will do.
Ryan turns around and she kind of half bows and says thank you and Chuddarth and
Good. All right.
All right.
peace
That's
out.
fun.
Peace the fuck
Yeah.
out.
Mm-hmm. Let's
You
bounce.
guys make your way out of there. So you are able to find out. Just roll me a quick persuasion check to find out where the tavern is that you're looking for. If you would like, you can just not even roll the check, cast friends, and find it instantly.
Is this the shaved beard?
Yeah, the shaved beard.
Sorry, what was the roll?
Roll me a persuasion, or just cast friends and know where it is.
Oh no, I don't need to cast. I got persuasion locked down.
Can Ryan not just pop our head back in the store and then ask him where the shaved beard is?
You can, and he would be like, it's kind of complicated. Like it's not close to here. It's more or less what he's saying. So with that persuasion check, more or less, you're able to ask enough people along the way that you can find your way there. It actually is a bit of a long way to get to the place. It takes you about an hour to find your way there, and that's with your good persuasion checks that the two of you rolled, to get decent advice along the way, like not so much attitude or whatever. So of course we are going to be popping ourselves into the shaved beard as a bar immediately as soon as you walk into this place. So what does it look like? As soon as you walk into this place, you can see that it is very, very large. The whole thing is designed. It's kind of actually, what would that be? Roll me there's no architecture and engineering check in 5e. How do you represent architecture and engineering check in 5e?
History, probably, right?
I suppose history. Sure, Otto, and Rye, and Grommen, roll me a history check. But Otto, I'm gonna let you have advantage.
Okay.
Grommen rocking that history check.
Grommen no smart, but Grommen like history.
So Grommen is the only one that is able to recognize that the inside of this place. So it's almost spherical shaped. It's not quite a spherical shape, but it's almost spherical in its shape. Obviously, it has a flat ground, so it's not exactly a sphere, and it does kind of taper off at the top in a non-spherical kind of way. But it has this like bulbous sort of feeling to it. The whole place does. There's multiple levels of like wooden structures kind of coming out of the walls and making it. Something about the shape of this place seems familiar to Grommen, but not entirely sure what it is. Anyways, so as you guys, and I know it's a 15, but sadly it's just not enough to figure out what it was. It was a difficult roll because of what, So you go inside the place. It is great in its design. As soon as you go in there, you can hear the booming of laughter. You can hear the people talking. You can hear all of this stuff happening. And immediately, again, Otto can pick up the acoustics in this place. Must be wonderful for like those really low notes, but higher notes probably wouldn't carry quite, maybe wouldn't sound as good in this kind of an area. You're taking in the side of the place. It is beautiful inside here. All of the walls are ornate. The stone being carved in such ways to have like symbols or whatever on them. But you make your way immediately over to whoever it is that the keep is. You inform them that he had sent there, had sent you guys here, and he's like,
Bagelthorn sent us.
he's like, who?
Bagelthorn?
Really?
Yeah. He gave our friend here this hammer.
Grommen like pulls it out.
Gave?
Yeah,
Dave?
he make me break thing, and he give me sword, and he give me hammer.
Says Grommen, immediately talking about things he shouldn't talk about. He gave you a hammer? Well,
Yeah.
if he's giving you stuff, he must really like you guys.
That's what I like to believe.
All right, well, might I make a suggestion?
I'm keen to hear it.
That balcony up over there, and he's kind of gesturing up behind you guys. Perhaps you should go sit there.
Okay.
As you say okay, and you're kind of like looking around, you see that there are a lot of people. Like if they were eating, they kind of stopped. If they were drinking, not so much anymore. You know whatnot, as they're all like looking at you guys standing there, like you were clearly the sore thumb in this place.
Okay, so I hear him say you should probably go sit in that balcony, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I turn around and I see all of these somber faces around us, and I think, oh, okay. And then
Grumman's like,
I guess.
they're looking at you. Maybe you sing them song.
Just head up to that place. Someone will be up there shortly to take care of you. Just so we don't waste each other's time, are you doing a celebratory thing here? Like, should I be sending her up with some good stuff, or are you trying to save money since you just bought something at, his place?
Oh man, that's a hard question for Otto.
Right?
I was like, Bala.
I kind of leans in over Otto, and she's like, celebrating, and she like winks.
I think we're celebrating a little bit.
He nods to that and says, glad to hear it. And with that, before we actually take on the scene, which I do apologize, Mathis, will be another one without you.
Oh no.
We're going to take our break.
All right, guys, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere.